Shalom, family. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Well, the food lines are exploding because now you got the SNAP recipients along with the federal employees and anybody else out here that's laid off and not working. Plus, you got the military. They are there as well, trying to get food. I mean, what a disgrace for the alleged most powerful country in the world is looking very weak and frail. So Donald Trump defied a court order to give out partial payments for SNAP. Well, the same judge came back, and I might do this one tomorrow, and said Donald Trump need to give full payment out to everybody with EBT. Donald Trump already defied the original court order. Do you really think he gonna follow the second court order from the same judge? He already said what he's gonna do. He's not paying anything out until the government comes back. So, I mean, I see where they're going, but we know Donald Trump don't follow any rules. Now, what if all of us did that? We were given a court order and we just do what Donald Trump do. You know they would be coming for you. But this is white male privilege in America. That's what Donald Trump has. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Now, this first one is absolutely crazy. You know how you have a line of cars at a food bank? Well, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the police came and started giving tickets out to people in a food line in their cars at a food bank. I mean, come on. There are no exceptions. No exceptions, huh? Now, these folks, in order for them to be at a food bank, already down on their luck. Now, you're going to make it worse for them financially by issuing them a ticket for waiting in a food line? Absolutely ridiculous. But that's what this wicked place does. Let me go ahead and get started. Thank you for the ones.
Give out parking tickets to people who were waiting outside of a food bank. There was a pastor whose name is Alejandro Escamilla. This man is a hero, an absolute hero. One of the best Americans ever, out here feeding people when people are out here struggling with inflation. If you've been by a grocery store, it's rough out there right now. And the police, the pigs, gave people tickets. People who couldn't afford to feed themselves already. Because guess what? Someone called the police and the police sent out their little mini piggies, to go dig out for some truffles. And they even had the nerve to tell that pastor, we are the law and you have to respect the law. Meanwhile, this man is feeding the community that these pigs are soaking up tax dollars from. Wow, police. Wow, U.S. law enforcement. Just earn the hate, huh? Just earn the hate, huh?
Line is already starting to form here at the St. Mary's Food Bank on 31st Avenue and Thomas Road. Jerry Brown, you join me now. You're the director of PR with the food bank. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. How much busier have you guys been, during this government shutdown?
Definitely. We've seen about a 10 to 15% increase across our network last week, and you can see that we're still a half an hour from opening, and the line's already spilled out into Thomas Road. We can accommodate more than 100 cars here in our parking lot. It's 3 lanes wide, but we've already reached our capacity, and we haven't even opened up yet.
Military members are now being forced to line up at food banks because Donald Trump shut down the government and they are not receiving a paycheck. Just take a look.
To take a step aside here, there is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because Because of this government shutdown, we're in day 9 of it, and they're here for a food pantry. There's all sorts of food that is available, and I spoke with some military member spouses, and I spoke with some department heads here at the ASYMCA on why this is so important. What's the difference in the amount of people that you've seen from today to previously?
So when we first started coming, there definitely wasn't this amount of people. It was a lot, but it wasn't this amount to where it wrapped around the building. But lately it has been a lot. Like,
You know, recently somebody was arguing me down, telling me the military was getting paid. The military were getting paid. The military is at the food bank. They're not getting paid. They're not getting paid, y'all. They are in line. They're right here in the damn background, in line at the food bank. This is the U.S. military. Unbelievable, but let's go on.
we were here last week and we were in line for like 2 hours.
Yeah, our brave men and women in uniform forced to line up at food banks because Donald Trump keeps lying about this government shutdown. Remember, they control the House, they control the Senate, they control the presidency, they control the Supreme Court, they control all of these government agencies, and they still cannot keep the government open. So MAGA, is this America being great when our military has to line up at food banks?
The Weld Food Bank. I had to speed up this video 15 times in order to get it down to 30 seconds so you can just see how long it is. Now this line is pretty unprecedented. The Weld Food Bank tells me this is about 2 times as long, about double the amount of people that they serve in a typical morning after the government shutdown. And because the SNAP benefits have been delayed, they're seeing an increased need. People use those SNAP benefits. They really rely on them. More than 600,000 Coloradans rely on SNAP benefits. Half of those people are children. And without those payments, they can't buy groceries, and that's why they're coming to their local food banks. We're here with Weston Edmonds this morning. Weston, when you see this long of a line, what does it mean for you guys here at the Weld Food Bank?
It just means to us that we have a lot of people in our community that are hurting. Even before the government shutdown and the funding freeze, like you said, we were seeing historic numbers, about 1,700 people a day utilizing our emergency food and senior feeding programs. But now without those funds in people's account, we're seeing more people in line than ever. Usually we open the day with about 50 cars. This morning it was about 85 to 90. We got a lot of people who really need our help, and we need the viewers and the community's help to make sure that we can have the food to feed these people.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much food that you guys need. You were telling me that you guys purchased $250,000 worth of food, and that's only going to last you a week.
Yeah, if we're lucky, that food will last us about a week, and then as the time extends on and we have less time or more time between people getting that support that they really need, we're gonna have to purchase more, and that just leaves us to have to dip deeper into our budget that we weren't planning on when we set out in July to serve our community for the next 12 months.
Yeah, I know that you guys are in a funding shortfall right now. So are other food banks. I know Community Food Share over in Boulder and Broomfield counties are also facing the same thing. What can people do to help?
People can sign up and give their time. They can give some food, but that financial donation is what's really going to make the largest impact. $1 given to the food bank or to Weld Food Bank equals $6 worth of groceries for our neighbors. So we have incredible buying power, and with your generosity, we can make sure that everyone who comes to us has food to eat.
And who are the people who are coming to see you guys, Weston? These are people just like you and I.
Yes, people just like me and you who are hardworking Americans whose budget just doesn't stretch as far, and they're having to turn to other sources. Again, during this time when usually SNAP is there to help supplement their incomes and their budgets, that's not there, so they have to turn to food banks to just make sure that they themselves and their kids are fed.
Yeah, and you told me, for every one meal a food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. That's a huge gap that you guys can't do on your own, so people need help, and we're doing our 9 Cares Colorado Shares campaign like we do every year. This year our goal is $750,000. consider when you're at King Soopers, when you're checking out to round up, there's a yellow button on that screen. Even if it's just 25 cents, it really does add up. That's how we get a lot of our donations. Thank you, Weston, for being here with us this morning and having us here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
The food bank I go to gets the food in your car in less than 30 seconds. Here's how.
Keep on going. Keep going. Keep coming up. Please come up.
Get him, Liz. Get him moving.
Hey, bless you. Got everything here? Oh, good. This is a one. Don't kill me.
This food bank had 2 staff members, 3 high school students, and 7 volunteers that were all over the age of 60 years old. We live in Florida. It was 95 degrees out. The sun was blazing. These volunteers did not stop moving. Sweat was dripping from everyone's faces. They loaded 120 cars with food in an hour and 15 minutes. And for a full hour before the line started moving, boxes of food were removed from pallets, opened, and resorted into plastic grocery bags to be easily handed out. And if you're still watching, please consider volunteering at your local food bank.
You waited 2.5 hours, and did you walk away with anything? Nothing.
There's groups and people out there that are actually stepping up and helping. Now, if it's about the government, yeah, we fucked.
It is disheartening to see the long line at the food bank in Stockton, California this morning, stretching from Scott Street to Lincoln Street, with cars lining up all the way to Charter Way. Many elderly individuals are among those waiting, highlighting the struggle faced by vulnerable members of the community. The fact that people have been waiting since 4 a.m. is a stark reminder of the challenges they are facing. The creation of a second line at Columbus Park further emphasizes the high demand for assistance. The situation is concerning and sheds light on the pressing issue of food insecurity in the area.
I'm here at the Kia Forum parking lot where the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank has set up temporary food relief for families and individuals whose SNAP benefits have been affected by the government shutdown. Now, 2 U.S. judges yesterday did order the Department of Agriculture to release contingency funding to restart the SNAP benefits. But those funds may not reach families who are hungry for up to a week.
SNAP CalFresh benefits are not going out. We have nearly 1 million households in Los Angeles County that rely on CalFresh benefits. So this is the first of many large-scale distributions. So here we have volunteers, over 120 volunteers, who are all lined up to distribute frozen chicken, shelf-stable food items, pantry items, yogurt, carrots, potatoes, apples.
Our elected officials are letting us down because, you know, we vote and put these people in office, and they tend to get a personal vendetta going with each other and forget about the main thing, which is the people.
We'll be serving 5,000 households, and we do expect that we will run out of food, sadly. There are other food pantries throughout Los Angeles County that we partner with that are also distributing food today. There's distributions pretty much every day in the week throughout Los Angeles County.
You can read more about the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's drive-through food relief efforts in the LA Times.
We're here outside a food bank in Los Angeles. You can see the long line of people here right now that are lining up to get food assistance. This is what we've seen across LA and across the country as the government shutdown has put SNAP benefits in jeopardy for 42 million Americans. On Friday, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to distribute payments as soon as possible. President Trump said that he's going to ask the court how the government can legally fund that program during the shutdown. He says that if it's legally possible, he will give the funding, but even so, payments will be delayed. Multiple people have told us over the past few days that this is their first time coming to a food bank. We went to one food bank here in LA that told us they are seeing record numbers of people showing up.
We're shattering records that you don't want to shatter. We had 803 families all alone last week, and we're going to pass that.
I also met the Leal family, and they have 5 children under the age of 13, including 2 10-month-old twins. They get $750 a month in SNAP or CalFresh benefits, and without that, they are very scared about how they are going to make ends meet. Have you ever been to the food bank before?
No, we never have.
The husband says that he works as a contractor, but work has been slow. He attributes that to inflation. And the mom, Jocelyn, says that she hasn't been able to go back to work because of the high cost of childcare. What she would make wouldn't cover the cost of having care for her children.
What is your message right now to the federal government?
I mean, what can we say? It's unfair what they're doing. Very unfair.
Really an unbelievable scene here in Houston. Hundreds of people at risk of losing their SNAP benefits lined up for food. The Houston Texans are partnering with the local food bank here, prepared to feed 5,000 families. It's just a fraction of the needs that exist nationwide as the government shutdown now enters its second month. Here in Texas alone, more than 3 million people rely on these food stamps. Half of them are children. The message from the Houston Food Bank: this is a man-made emergency.
Well, the last time you saw scenes like this was during COVID, where the food banks around the country had to step up, and these super site style distributions were actually fairly common. But that was nature hitting us. This is society making a horrible mistake.
And as they urge Congress to act, right now it's neighbors helping neighbors.
What does it mean to you that you're losing your SNAP money?
Well, it means a lot, you know, working hard and trying to feed our children at home and being responsible. You know, whatever is going on right now with the shutdown with the government, you know, it's hurting a lot of people.
In Northern Virginia today,
hello,
a line of cars that stretched nearly a mile, made of federal workers stretched thin by the government shutdown.
The funds that I do have are pretty much depleted by this point.
It's the third day the Capital Area Food Bank has specifically served federal employees.
This one's dry goods.
This time at 2 different locations. Unpaid workers and contractors waiting in line said they've had to make cutbacks, like Valley Bennett, a single mother who works for the Department of Homeland Security.
I have a kid in college, a senior in high school. A senior in high school, you know, it's a lot of celebration, a lot of things that you want to do since it's your last year in high school, and we have to slow down all the activities.
More than 1 million federal employees today missed their first full paychecks since the shutdown began. That includes Zeleny Johnson, a mother of 3 who works for the U.S. Navy.
It feels terrible. Yeah. It feels really bad. It's definitely not a good feeling to not get one today, but then to also know that you don't know when the next one is coming either.
That after Senate Republicans and Democrats yesterday blocked each other's bills to pay some or all workers in the shutdown. Many federal employees were feeling or anticipating pain in their pocketbooks before today. Lines formed earlier this week at the Capital Area Food Bank's first distribution in Prince George's, Maryland, and its 300 boxes of goods ran out with people still waiting. And today, with cars lining up starting at 5:30 a.m., there was even more demand, and again, not enough supply.
We are likely going to run out of food before you get to the front of the line. So this is our pantry network. Additional places to access food will be back next week. I'm so sorry.
It is a national story, with food banks ramping up around the country. In Phoenix, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul started making extra meals and collecting donations in the first week of the shutdown. And as TSA officers work without pay, airports are stepping up with donation drives, including at Las Vegas International.
Las Vegas sees millions of passengers come through our airport, and those federal entities provide vital services for safety and flight safety and airport terminal safety.
And in Salt Lake City, Utah.
These are our neighbors, whether you know them or not. These federal employees are Utahns, they are Salt Lakers.
The shutdown is compounding already worsening food and hunger issues. Before the shutdown, the Capital Area Food Bank's annual report for the D.C. area found a notable rise in the most severe food shortage, people considered very food insecure. It is government job related. As of May, 41% of households that lost a job connected to the government were food insecure. That's compared to 17% for households that did not experience a job loss. As the last box of food went into the cars today, significantly earlier than the food bank had planned, a lingering common thought from federal workers: don't forget them in all of this.
Just think about the American people that are out here working really hard just to survive. Just remember that.
The Capital Area Food Bank in Washington is planning its next distribution event tomorrow, and they only expect demand to grow as this shutdown continues. For more, I'm joined by the organization's CEO, Radha Muthaya. Radha, let me start right off the bat here with, we know demand has increased.
That is a lot of starving families.
WWJ's Luke Sloan here this morning on Detroit's east side. This is Outer Drive and Chalmers. I'm at one of 100 emergency food distribution sites set up by the city of Detroit in the wake of all the uncertainty with SNAP benefits for Michiganders and people nationwide amid the government shutdown. As you can see, the line of people waiting to pick up fresh food extends all the way down the street. If you'll walk for me for a second, it's cars as far as the eye can see, and the city coming together to support each other. As you can see over here, dozens of volunteers all taking food from this Forgotten Harvest truck, putting it directly into the cars of Detroiters who need it. All day, they're going to be here today. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan is here as well, helping to deliver some food, but you can see by this long line, just illustrating the need of Detroiters right now amid this SNAP food benefit uncertainty.
Y'all, it is crazy out here, isn't it? And Donald Trump, he wants everybody to starve. So my thing is, hold your head up. If you got to go to a food bank, you do what you got to do. Okay, me, I don't believe in shaming people for reaching out for things they need. So if you need it, that's what it's there for. I notice when I'm going on a lot of different websites, I'm seeing a lot of advertisements for, donate to your local food bank. Or some of them will even have a button to donate. So I'm starting to see that crop up all over the place online. And, the food banks are not made for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. That's only in those times when you are so broke you just can't buy yourself food. So you go to the food bank. So they may see 40, 50 cars, normally in a week. Now there are hundreds or even thousands of people out there showing up at these food banks. And this is sad. This is the state that America is in. This is it. It's a damn shame. G. Bowman Jr., thank you for your super chat. Welcome to America. Yeah. Yeah, you got that right. And thank you for your support for my channel, PM2290. Thank you for your super chat. YT supremacy has accelerated itself. Cannibalization, the hatred of melanin and the righteous is so ingrained in YT psyche that they destroy themselves. Stay righteous, be one, and shalom, Lisa. And thank you for your, your support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. Wow. Okay, again, G. Bowman Jr., thank you for your super chat. Food banks runs happened first time Donald J. Trump was president. Yeah. Yeah. It's not unusual. You're probably going to see this a lot during his administration because he loves firing people and putting people in a bad financial state. So, y'all, I hate seeing this, but this is prophecy. This is a Donald Trump starvation that you're looking at. This is not a natural thing or anything like that. This is a Donald Trump starvation going on in the country. So, y'all, thank you for being here. Be on the lookout for my videos tomorrow. Stay safe, stay prayed up with the Most High, and good evening. Shalom, family.